Hello everyone and welcome back to 20XX. A few things have changed, mostly just artwork on the GUI. Does it say I have 11 soul nuts? Otherwise I'll take this. I thought I bought something last episode. Does it carry from different people? I don't know why I had 7. Anyway, we're gonna go just duck into this. I don't know what else has changed because, again, the only time I ever played this is, you know, when I record it. Anyway, today I actually, every now and then I think about what type of topics I should talk about during this episode. And today I thought about a decent one. I'm gonna talk about what Mexpowers is. Like, why is my name Mexpowers? Why is my avatar the way he looks? The whole story. Like, obviously I'm not just listen and learn. So many years ago, like, and I mean like when I was just a young kid, this was probably back in like elementary school. I'd imagine it was like, I don't know, probably mid elementary school, like maybe grade 5 or 6. Or maybe even grade 7. I think it was before that though. Me and my brother used to play with like Lego a lot, and when you play with Lego, like there's the sets and stuff, and you can like just play and you can act out the stories and stuff of whatever it's from, like whether it's Harry Potter or Star Wars or, you know, whatever types of sets there were. Me and my brother got a lot of those sets, but we never really acted out like scenes and stuff. We kind of just made our own characters and did our own thing. Oh jeez, it's now an item? I had to grab it. So that's what we did anyway. I feel like I missed something, but might as well get the bonus timer. So that's what we did. I remember when we did play, we had, our main guy was like some dude named Racer John, and he was like from one of those like race car sets, like back in the day. Oh, the boss health is different too. That's awesome. That's way nicer. My health is different too. I'll have to get used to that. So that was like the main guy, and we were just kind of playing with them as our like little guys and making our own stories and just kind of doing our thing. That's for sure. And then at one point we also had a SpiderMan set too, and we used him in the stories too. They're just like little whatever, nothing big, just kind of mostly improv. And at one point, we decided to make some more. My brother made a character who we just called Kung Fu Guy at the time, and he was basically a like normal peach-colored face, just a basic Lego face with blonde hair. Stop doing that. And he wore white pants with like a black belt type thing that kind of, it's like the piece that connects the torso and the legs. And former hat, that's good. His body was from a Star Wars set. From a Jabba's Hut set. It was of Han Solo. And it was just where he just had like a white shirt on, and it looked like the type of clothing that, I don't know, someone who was in martial arts would wear. So that's why we called him that. And one day I decided to make a character too. It was very similar. It was the actual clothing was a clone suit. I don't remember what clone, like just one of those. Oh, jeez, I hate these fucking damaging things. They do really annoying damage. And he was basically the same blonde-haired dude, except his big difference was he had wings. Okay, I figured that led to that, and now I'm all the way down here. And I made up a story where the two were brothers, and the angel dude had just kind of died when he was born, so that's why he was an angel. That's why he was dead. That was bullshit. That was absolute bullshit. That stage was set up so horribly. Let's try this again. So that was that, right? Anyway. Afterwards, we started playing, like, since we had, like, this angel guy and we had SpiderMan, we also gave, like, the Kung Fu guy some powers. Because obviously already he was Kung Fu guy, so we gave him some more powers, you know? We gave him different types of abilities and kind of made, like, a superhero type thing out of it. And the enemy was a bad guy called Scar. And we'll talk about him at some point. And it was Scar and I had some other people. And basically, Scar and whoever else I had at the time, who else were baddies, they were like from a Dino Attack set. And they had their vehicles and stuff. I don't think Scar was really a bad guy. I think he was another racer when we were playing. But eventually, he turned into like a bad guy with guns and shit. Originally, though, he was just like a racer and ally/friend. Kind of like Knuckles is to Sonic. That's what his character originally was. But then I kind of evolved him into, like, the bad guy at some point. Anyway, I'll continue what I was saying. At some point, we kind of, like, moved on to superheroes with the Angel guy, Spider-Man, and the Kung Fu guy. So we decided we needed more, you know? It was only them three. We didn't have any other, like, superhero things at the time. There was just really Spider-Man stuff, so we made up our own characters. Shut up, you're the really loud guy. So, my brother made one. At the time, we called him the Mighty Thunderbolt. Real name, I think, was John. I'm not quite sure. I think it was John. And I made two as well. I made the Red Phantom and the Psychic Ninja. And basically, he was just like... I can't remember what the... Oh... I can't remember what the actual set, what I actually used for, like, a mask. I can't remember. I'm trying to remember so badly. But I can't. Ah. I honestly am trying really hard to try to remember what what I used for him to make him look like a ninja, but I can't remember in the slightest. Anyway, let's move on from that. So, we gave them like backstories and stuff just at the time, while we could, because we were just playing, you know. And later, remember, all these guys were designed as Lego characters, so they use Lego parts. So Mighty Thunderbolt was like multiple different, mostly just like kind of looked like a warrior knight from like the Knight's Kingdom stuff. That stuff's like really old school. Like you have to be like a really old Lego fan to remember that stuff. That was a long time ago, like even for me. It was coming out. Like I'm not saying it's like stuff that I wasn't. That was stuff that was coming out when I was just a kid. Ugh. And he was a bunch of different parts of different sets, so he was mashed together and stuff. But his main weapon I think was like a yellow sword. Okay, how do I get to that? Game has gotten difficult. I've never been to these places, so they're confusing to me. I keep falling down. What else was there? The Red Phantom was like... It was like... There was the... In the Star Wars sets... Ooh. Do I have any? No. Okay, fine. The Star Wars sets in the Emperor, he had like those red bodyguards. And basically I just took one of those and added a real face instead of like a black face. Because they don't actually have like real faces behind the mask. It's just like... Where? Oh, there's my cache. Okay. The things are the soul nuts. I was wondering where my cache thing was. I couldn't tell. But yeah. So that's who it was. I can't remember what the face was, so don't ask. But yeah, he was like Red Phantom. He had like a red sword and stuff, and that was from Knight's Kingdom as well. I remember each one had a sword. The Mighty Thunderbolt had a yellow sword. Most of the stuff was from the Knight's Kingdom. He had a yellow sword. The Red Phantom had a red sword. The Angel had a golden sword. And what's his face had a golden like katana like sword. I don't remember where we got it originally. I have absolutely no clue. It definitely wasn't Ninjago. It was before Ninjago's time. So I don't. You know, I was really happy to have that set. So I have no clue where I got it. Gonna have plenty of health. Let's go here. And then the Psychic Ninja had a normal katana. I don't remember where I got that either. I think I remember what their faces were. I think. I'm not sure. Never mind. I don't know. But anyway, let me continue. Oh, armor. Just have to kill this big jerk first. There's a jerk over there too. So we had like their person costumes and then their like superhero costumes. They had two different costumes because, you know, they're superheroes and that's how we were playing it. You know, they had secret identities and stuff. And at some point, I think this, like, I started this in grade 7. I started writing like actual stories for them. I had planned to write them. I know I writ the Psychic Ninja story, and I based the Psychic Ninja. I used my name and my personality for his character, and then all the others were just completely like imagined. I'm not gonna explain their backstories. I'm not gonna go into that right now. That will be for another day, like a long, like way in the future, maybe, if I remember. Anyway, we wanted to think of a superhero squad for them, right? They weren't really superheroes. They were like warriors. At the time, they're superheroes, but eventually they evolved into like just warriors. They weren't superheroes. They were warriors, and they were a team of warriors that came from different places. So me and my brother eventually decided on the team being called the Warriors Alliance, and we both agree with that. We liked it, so that's what they became. That was their team name, you know? There's the freaking Justice League, there's the Avengers, and we had the Warriors Alliance. That was our small group of our superheroes. They weren't really superheroes, though. Warriors, as it was called. And I started actually, like, writing backstories, like, just real stories, and I even today, like, obviously anything I did write back then, I probably scrapped, because, you know, I was a kid, and I'm not gonna actually use that stuff, because kids' minds are different than, you know, you get older, you get smarter, so. Ow. No! Okay, these bats need to go. So that's what I did. Now you're probably asking, well, what does this have to do with Mexpowers, you know, because I didn't mention him. We're gonna get to that shortly. I started writing their stories, and I never really finished. I know I finished kind of writing. I'm trying to speak, but I'm having trouble doing it. In high school, if I ever needed to write a short story as a project, I'd always use one of their stories. I know I wrote the Red Phantom in one of my classes. I wrote his as a project. I wrote the Psychic Ninja. I wrote 2 of his, and I started writing the 3rd. And this is when I was a kid, so none of these are actually I would ever use in the future. Like, never. So they're concept ideas, sure, but nothing like actually. But I just started writing, right? And then, now we'll get to where Mexpowers comes from, and how he fits into all of this. Also remember Scar still. He has a story of his own too. Even though he's a villain, partially, he's more of like an anti-villain to me. So, Mexpowers, in grade 9, I was in a music class. And, oh, they have their own separate life bars now. I think they had their own separate life bars before. But anyway. They really hurt. They need to stop. Oh, okay, he's gone. Okay, I win. Let me try. I'm so sorry with these stories, but I get really distracted. It's really hard doing this. Like, people aren't kidding. Focusing and talking at the same time really is difficult. We're gonna take this. Let's go here. So in grade 9 in music class, one of my assignments was marked by my music teacher. And he typed like something like "good work, Alex," or "good job," something like that. He wrote my name anyway, and that's what I'm trying to say. He wrote my name on the assignment. Oh, that's different now. And he connected by mistake, not on purpose, the A and the L, and it looked like an M. And it looked like, so, A and L, M, it looked like Mex, you know? So, I just started kind of using that, you know? I was Mex. Son of a bitch. God damn it. We're going again. I'm not done talking yet. This episode's not long enough. So, I was Mex, and a lot of jokes came out of that. These guys literally just come out of nowhere. They're fucking assholes. They're cheating invisible guys. So, you know, that's where Mex came from. And eventually I just kind of added powers. I don't know why I added powers. And a lot of people seem to think it's from Mexpowers from The Simpsons. But I don't think it was. I'd seen the episode, but not recently. So I don't think I got any inspiration from Mexpowers. I'm pretty sure it just kind of... I added powers at the end and I'm like, cool. And because I added the word powers at the end, I was like, man, he sounds like a superhero. And I had already created superheroes before. It wasn't new to me. So I figured, well, let's give him a backstory, you know? Let's make him a character. Let's give him a character, like, design. So I did. And I'm not going to say the whole story because there's a lot to it. And I'm constantly changing it because, you know, as I get older, I get smarter and wiser, and my ideas become better. But I eventually found some sort of... I started drawing him, I asked someone to draw him, and I found the hero creator, and I made concept art of him, you know, and I really wanted him to have, like, a scar on his eye. You know, it was just things I wanted, you know, at the time. You know? And that's where he came from. That's why he looks like... why he looks. Because they were just ideas I had at the time, you know, a scar on one of the eyes, long black hair, having white glowy eyes on a black mask, you know. Although he doesn't, in the story, he doesn't generally keep the mask for very long. Okay, that weapon is terrible now. Yeah, let's do the Death Lotus. So, that's where he came from. And eventually, because I had their story, I needed a way to link up their story. And I could have just said, oh, well, you know, he's another hero. He can join the Warriors Alliance. But because I had already thought of so many ideas about the Warriors Alliance at the time, I was like, it wouldn't make sense if he were just suddenly here. So what I did, in the story, Mexpowers comes from a different dimension from all the other, like, heroes, right? He comes from a different dimension and ended up, by mistake, creating a wormhole during a fight that led to their dimension. I'll take these. So, that's kind of how I connected the stuff. And remember Scar, too. He was an anti-villain, not a main villain. Although him and, like, the main team butted heads every now and then, it was only because what he was doing wasn't to the law, and they were against it, even though his overall goals weren't evil. He was just trying to, I don't know, make a living. It's just the way he was doing it wasn't very lawful. But he wasn't bad, so... Eventually, at some point, I connected Mexpowers' story with Scar's story, and they join up. And at this point now, it's just hectic. Like, all the stories have been so many dimensions that have been visited, so many different things. Like, there's a lot to Mexpowers. Like, it was just a small little character, because one little line that ended up turning Alex into Mex just created all this stuff, you know? All these stories. And it's amazing, like, it's amazing that that happened. And he's like, online he's my Elias, right? That's who I am online. I'm Mexpowers. But there's just more to him than just a username. To me, he's not just a username. You know, he's also a character. A character that I want to one day write books about. Like, I'm almost positive I could write full novels. And maybe one day I will, you know? And, you know, it might end up being like a J.K. Rowling situation, you know, where she was all poor and shit, and then she wrote the Harry Potter books, and look at her now, right? Maybe I'll end up like that. I'm not saying it's actually gonna happen. It's just like a dream that could happen. Because I think my stories are interesting. I think a lot of them are interesting. To this day, I don't have anything physically written on paper about any of the stories, but it's all in my brain. All the stories that I have created exist in my brain. So, like, Mexpowers I wrote, I'm gonna say, like, brain wrote, because I haven't wrote anything. But everything that was ever, like, everything that exists with him. Okay, I was wondering, I had that matrix thing. I was wondering why all the energy things were turning into health. Now I know. I totally forgot getting it. I think I can one-shot these bats now with, yeah, because I have that thing. More health. I don't need health. Thank you for all the health, but I really don't need it. Just fucking die. Okay, now I'm going back for the health. Nope. I'm so confused. Damn it. Yeah, Mexpowers has changed into a lot of things. Like, it's a lot. I know there was something I wrote. Not wrote. I keep saying wrote. I've not wrote anything. It's all in my brain. I had a little animation a while back about, Nathan Powers, Mexpowers' son. And he's a real character, too. Like, I actually have him in a couple stories. He is Mexpowers' son. So, but the story that was going after was literally just because the main villain in Mexpowers, I didn't have a character design, and I still really don't have a legitimate character design at the time, so I was like, I have a character design for this other character, I could use him as the temporary villain. So that's what I did. So that's why I used that guy. The character I used as the main villain, who's called Darkblade, name pending, isn't an actual villain in the storyline. He's actually a long-term friend to Mex, where he becomes a long-term friend of Mex. I just, you know, didn't have a character design for the main villain I had on hand, so I was like, what do I do? I have an idea for Darkblade though, and he'd make a good villain. He looks like a villain, the way he dresses, you know. So that's what I did. Okay, I probably missed some stuff, but that just means I can get a bonus item. So that's what Mexpowers is, and it's come a long way. Like, I have a lot invested in it, you know. I have a lot of design aspects, and I'm constantly just, what's the word I was gonna use? Like, mind writing? I'm gonna use that as my term. Constantly just like writing the stories in my mind and adding more to certain scenes that will not really, I guess you can call them scenes. They're not really like scenes you see, but they're scenes you have to imagine. I'm trying to imagine them and get to a point where other people can imagine them. I'm gonna take this. I don't have any weapons yet. I don't want to go to those blue ones because I'm not too familiar with them yet, and I tend to die a lot, so we'll avoid that until we get stronger. Jesus Christ, there's just an endless amount of villains. Not villains. Why did I say villains? Enemies. They aren't really villains. But yeah. I hope people watch this episode I don't care if you don't watch the whole series, but I hope people watch it and kind of understand a little bit of more, like, just about, maybe not what, maybe the whole point isn't to do what Mexpowers is, but you learn a little bit more about me, you know, my creative strength, you know, what I can do with my mind. Maybe even friends who watch this will have a better understanding of where all this came from, because this literally happened with a combination of my childhood time playing with Lego, you know, with my brother, and being like, and the thing that happened with my name in grade 9. Like, it's a combination of that, you know, me playing with Lego and having my name looking like Mex created Mexpowers, giving him a whole story. It's interesting, you know? It's interesting how that all happened. This is really difficult. Why can't I go through those? It doesn't seem like... I don't need to go that way either. I don't know why I'm trying. I'm not gonna go that way either. That way just seems dangerous. Holy shit. Spaz. I feel like that guy needs a little bit more artwork. Something just doesn't seem right. He's a bunch of, like, balls as his main body. Oh, I remember this. This is really problematic. I'm gonna die here again because I can't get on that fucking platform. Oh my god, 3 HP. No, why would you put me all the way back there? Why? Why would you do that? Look at this. Like, that's bullshit. Armor, that's... No! Stop putting... Wait, that thing. No, that will kill me. I'll be dead. I can't... Like, I can't! How are you supposed to do that? Explain to me how you're supposed to do that without the proper upgrades. Ah, fucking shit. Max energy, that's energy. Your power sometimes refund their energy cost. Enemies drop more energy. It's all fucking energy! Well, we can buy multiple things, so we might as well just use our money wisely and buy these. I think I'm gonna end the episode. I don't know how long it's been, but I've said all that I needed to say in this episode. And, I don't know, maybe I'll talk about, if you guys want. I'm dead serious here. Anyone who watches this all the way through, and I mostly mean friends, because mostly friends watch this all the way through, if you want me to say any of the origin stories of the characters I've created, so like any of the Warriors Alliance people, Scar, Mex, talking about any other characters I have, I can talk about a bunch of different characters I have. I've created a god who basically, like, I have my own universe. Marvel has their universe, DC has their universe. I have my own universe, you know? If you ever want me to talk about any of the characters, you know, I can. That makes for interesting thing. But I'll only do it if you actually want to hear it. Because I don't want to tell my stories to people who don't want to listen to them. Who will be like, oh, stop talking about this, it's boring. You know, so if you want to listen to it, comment. I'm serious. And I will talk about one of them. You know, one per episode, or maybe multiple per episode, depending on how much dialogue I can fit in. Lastly, there's one thing I need to say. It's important. There isn't going to be any 20XX videos for the next 3 Saturdays, because I'm going on vacation next week. By next Saturday, I'll be already gone. Like, I would have been gone for a few days. I'm not, like, there won't be any there will be some videos coming out on Saturday. They won't be 20XX. I think a couple of them are pixel art videos, and the other 2 are different. Not other 2. The one. The other one is different. I'm gonna record that one tonight. I'm not gonna tell you what it is, though. Team Zex will still be coming out. Legend of Zelda won't be, just because me and Oliver just don't have time to coordinate our recording, and I prefer to record at night, but he likes to sleep at night. so we've been having issues recording, and we're gonna just put the series on hiatus and do the whole, we'll record 3 episodes, you know, a night, and that's obviously not enough. I know I'm still gonna record a few with him on like Friday or Saturday. Well, this is out on Saturday, but one of those days, either yesterday or today, I'm hoping that I can record with Oliver just to fill a few more days, so I can have some Legend of Zelda coming out. It won't all. A lot of them will be not coming out while I'm on vacation. And Team Zex, I finished recording that with Zach, and that's all uploaded. That'll all be released while I'm gone. So that's that, you know. I need to end the episode because there's something else I need to go record tonight and pre-upload it for one of the Saturdays. Thanks for watching, and thanks for listening if you actually, you know, paid attention to everything I said this episode. I talked a lot about origins and stuff, and where mechs came from, you know. I just basically talked about me. Not me as a person, but who I am and what Mexpowers came from, and just my imaginative power. Let's use that. That's a word, right? Sure. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you like this episode, press the like button. Again, comment down in the comment section below if you want me to say any of the origins of my heroes or talk about any of the, not heroes, characters. And if you like my channel and you want to see a lot more, please press the subscribe button, because I plan to do this series for a long time, and there's a lot of other things I want to record. So, the channel will be packed full of stuff for quite a while, even while I'm at school. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on this series in a few weeks. So I'll see you guys then.